Less than a week after Tim Norman was convicted, Sweetie Pie's Upper Crust location is closing. The last of the St. Louis locations of the brand is no longer going to be in existence. And I'm going to say a lot about this after I read the article. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Miss Analytical. I'm coming to you straight out of NYC on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. And this morning, I found out just on YouTube, just surfing along, that Sweetie Pie's Upper Crust location is going to close. So I'm going to read to you two articles. One, I'm going to read to you from the St. Louis Dispatch, and then I'm going to read to you from the Riverfront Times. So from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, it reads, Sweetie Pies to close last St. Louis area location on Del Mar Boulevard. The last St. Louis slice of Sweetie Pie's restaurant business is set to close next week, according to announcements on social media from owner Robbie Montgomery. Sweetie Pie's Upper Crust at 3643 Del Mar Boulevard will officially close at 6 p.m. September 25th. The news for now closes the last St. Louis location of a restaurant made famous by the long-running owned reality TV show Welcome to Sweetie Pies. At its peak, the location had long lines of fans of the show waiting to get a table. A Jackson, Mississippi Sweetie Pies location remains in operation, according to social media posts from the business. The news comes less than a week after owner Montgomery's son, James Tim Norman, star on the TV show, was convicted on federal murder for hire charges in the death of his nephew, Andre Montgomery Jr. The Post, announcing the closure, said the decision came to make way for the John Cochran VA Medical Center expansion. The business is hoping to reopen a location in the St. Louis area eventually, according to Sweetie Pie's Instagram page. Yeah. Interesting. So let me go to the Riverfront Times. It reads that Sweetie Pie's Upper Crust to close September 25th. The restaurant has made headlines recently when the owner's son stood trial in a murder for hire plot. Soul food restaurant Sweetie Pie's Upper Crust will be closing its doors on September 25th. Owner Robert Montgomery announced on Instagram on Tuesday. The Sweetie Pie's restaurant chain was at the center of the reality TV show Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Upper Crust is the last remaining location in the area, and it is closing to make way for a $4 million John Cochran VA Medical Center expansion. So I'm going to read to you the notice, and I'm going to read the notice afterwards. It says, Sweetie Pies was in the national news recently because owner Robert Montgomery's son, James Tim Norman, was convicted in a murder for hire plot that kills her grandson, Andre Montgomery Jr. Thank you all so much for the many years of love and support, Montgomery wrote on Instagram. So this is the sign that she wrote. And it basically says, we thank each and every one of you for the 25 years of support. It has been a pleasure to serve you, your friends and family. The restaurant will close until further notice at 6 p.m. on September 25th. We hope to have an opportunity to serve you again in the future, the sign concludes. So, the company, the brand Sweetie Pie, saying that they are going to close, but to them, they're basically saying to the public that they're closing down for relocation purposes. Here's the problem. Nobody's going to want to rock with Sweetie Pies no more after Tim Norman was convicted of lining up his nephew, Andre Montgomery Jr., to be murked. Okay? Let me explain. And let me analyze this too. First of all, the fact that Robbie Montgomery was not just supporting and standing by Tim Norman, Hanoga's son, but ignored the pleas of her grandson, Andre, months before he was lined up and emmed. When those text messages was revealed, that's when everyone really was like, I'm washing my hands of the brand. And I read these posts on YouTube. I read these comments on YouTube. They washed their hands from the brand. What ended up happening is that people probably were like, you know what, I'm not eating that sweetie pie, because why would I patronize a business that's gonna go, and the money's gonna go to support a person who lines up their nephew to be off? Why would I do that? Now, it's very interesting that they said that this was the last of the sweetie pies restaurants in the St. Louis area to close. So that means Mangrove closed. That's the one that he basically was managing. And then they had another one. They had another sweetie pies restaurant. Because if you remember, Upper Crust had opened in they was opening it around the first season or so. So pretty much Tim Norman was part owner of Sweetie Pies. Okay? So a lot of that money that you all was spending in that restaurant was going to him automatically either way, because he was part owner, and he was paying lawyers, and they said that Robbie was supplying money. She was putting the money on his books. And so pretty much people were like, nah. So that was the start of the business declining. And yes, they're probably going to close, honestly, because of the expansion of a VA hospital. But I think they're using that as perfect excuse. I think they were going to close either way, because many people are saying that on YouTube, the place is empty. Nobody's really patronizing them. They said the Jackson, Mississippi one is the only one that's really keeping the business afloat. And I guess because it's in Mississippi and there's no connection really in St. Louis, but the people in St. Louis, they don't rock with Sweetie Pies. They don't rock with the Montgomerys. They don't really rock with the brand like that. And it's really sad that her brand got tarnished because she stood by the side of her son. If she would have just said, I love my son, but I love my grandson as well. And, I'm just going to stay neutral with this because, I lost my grandson to violence and my son is in jail. I could understand that, because still today you are his mother. Okay? You're going to love your son. But to basically say, I support my son all the way and I'm standing by him. And then supposedly she said that her son was set up by the authorities. And it makes sense why Tim Norman would get on the stand and make that comment about Black Lives Matter is the reason why he got arrested for lining up his nephew Andre. So for me, I believe that they were going to close either way. But it's really interesting that it's literally less than a week after Tim Norman was convicted of murking his nephew. That I find to be totally interesting. And for me, if I lived in St. Louis and I had been a patron of Sweetie Pies, I couldn't eat the food. And I couldn't eat the food because, I'm going to be honest with you, it would have made me sick. I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have put it in my mouth. I couldn't digest it or anything like that. Because I would have thought of, damn, every time they was making macaroni and cheese, it was from the hands of a man, or not the hands of a man, but every time he put those plates of those pans outside to serve, it was touched by a man that had his nephew murked. And Miss Robbie, it wasn't worth it for you to stand by him, because look, he tarnished your legacy. You had a great legacy. You was a singer with Ike and Ike Turner. Tina Turner. You was a background vocalist. Then you basically went to school to become a respiratory therapist. Then you became a restaurateur. I would have never let anyone mess up my legacy like that. I'm sorry. It wasn't worth it. And you chose Tim over Andre. You should have known what was up when he was opening the restaurants behind your back. And we all know he's up that robbery. We all know that. And so, you know, it's the choices that you make in life at the end of the day. And she made the choice to stay by her son, to stand by her son. And this is the outcome. She's losing her legacy. She's losing money. Now, my question is, does she have insurance? You know, like, does she have, is she going to sell her house? What's going to happen? Because what other endeavors is she going to open? She's going to, the only thing I think she's going to have to do, she's going to have to go on the road. Because what's going to open up now, Andre's mother can sue the Sweetie Pies brand because Tim is part owner. That's why I said, does she have insurance? Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up here. And with that being said, it's your girl, Miss Analytical. I am signing out. Thank you for tuning in. And like, share, and comment. And also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And hit the notification bell to receive future notices on uploads and lives. And I will be back soon. Take care. Later, and enjoy the rest of your day.